Okay, it's 10:20, and I'm going to start my timer, which apparently this thing thinks I need to talk for 40 minutes. And we're going to get started. So I'll put a timer because I like to talk. We're here for Drawing for Success, Empowering Multisensory Learning with Monarch and Wing It. And I hope you folks are going to participate with me because I'm going to have volunteers come up because this is going to be hands-on. Last year I passed around stuff. This year you're going to have to come up. So my name is Kennedy-MacKenzie. I am the Director of Global Technology Innovations at the American Printing House for the Blind. How many people have heard about APH, the American Printing House for the Blind? Okay, a few of you. First, I'm going to go through some learning objectives. I'm going to describe 2 or more features, functionality of the Monarch, which is our multi-line braille display, in the Wing It app. I'll get into more detail about those. I'm going to identify 1 or 2 more ways that you can use Wing It to support multisensory learning. And then we're going to also talk about 2 or more steps to use Wing It for within your classroom or within your work environment. Hence, you're going to help me play a game. We're going to play Pictionary. So a little bit about APH. We've been around almost 160 years. We're based out of Louisville, Kentucky. And our mission is to bring products and services for individuals who are blind or have a visual impairment, but also a lot of our products work for other, I don't like the word disabilities because everyone's exceptional, any exceptionality. So you can have autism, dyslexia, neurodivergency, and a lot of our products will help with that. So it's just not for blindness and low vision. So a little bit, I wanted to talk about the graphics and the written language, and apparently one of my images decided to disappear. So just a little bit of background. Graphics are symbols that represent connections with the written language. So a lot of kids, when we're growing up, we start with picture books. That's how we start learning the world around us and then associating it with objects. So the Monarch will bring that also into that type of play again, not just for blindness, not just for low vision children and adults. About 50% of texts today in textbooks have graphics. So then, CJ run. You start learning, there's photos. You start really slow. And then children reach out and touch stuff, which is the great thing about, that's how we learn. And the great thing about APH is that if you go to our booth, which is booth 5, everything in there you can touch. There's nothing in there that we go like, please don't touch. That's how we learn. Even as adults, we always want to touch. There was my image. Apparently it showed up later. The also importance about tactile learning is that children, as I said, love symbols, love pictures, and they focus their attention. So I know like a lot of teenagers right now are into like the one-piece card game, the magic cards and all that fun stuff. And even in the role-playing game of Dungeons and Dragons, they are designing maps, and there's a visual component, especially now with Stranger Things. Everyone's playing D&D. So it brings that creativity into learning, even if it's not in the classroom. So just a little bit about the Monarch. And I have one that I'm going to show. Last year I was able to walk around. I'm really, but I'm stuck. It's a revolutionary tactile graphics display. Hold on, let me go down here. And you can see it in action at the booth as well. So here's the Monarch, and I'm going to let everyone, you can come up and explore it, or if we don't run out of time, you can go next door to the booth. It was developed with APH and HumanWare as a partnership. It uses technology. The dot cells are developed by Dot Inc., which also have a booth inside the exhibit hall. And we also partner with Daisy Consortium for eBraille, so we created a new standard for electronic braille so that's more interactive instead of just a static. So it'll show formatting, headers, it's a really advanced piece of innovation, let's go use that word. So currently we have about 1,400 monarchs. We call it out in the wild because they're monarch butterflies. And those are in the hands of students and adults. And some of them we have a couple of programs going on. One is called the Rise, and that is for adults to be able to obtain a monarch to use in their professional lives and at home. And also the student pilot program, which gets the monarch in the hands of students, and which is a pretty powerful thing. I also talk fast too, so. The Wing It. So this is an app that is actually pretty revolutionary, and this is where I want to focus on and how it works well with the Monarch for other multi-disabilities. Right now, if you're a if you're a TVI, teacher visually impaired, you have these static graphics, and which are great. And then on the Monarch, you can zoom in and explore. But sometimes, as teachers, even if you're not teachers of the visually impaired, you have to quickly cobble something together for a student to understand something. So what we've done is, from the teachers, they have wiki sticks or yarn and nails or pegs or whatever it needed to be to make something for a child to understand a concept. So what we've done, we've taken that and paired it with an iPad app that we've created called Wing It. So for Wing It, you can be like, okay, Ms. Heather, I don't understand this. Can you break it down a little bit more for me? And I can go and take this app, which I'll show you how it works, and draw something very quickly, and it dynamically sends it to the Monarch. And the student can go like, oh, I understand now. And then you're going to be able to interactively come back to it and be like, okay, now shade the area that's not applicable if I'm doing math. Or can you show me where Sally lives? And I can draw something, and they can draw it back and be like, okay, Sally lives here. And it opens up that possibility of interactions. So if you have a student that has autism and they're having some difficulty understanding an image, you can break it down a little bit further. And also it gives them an ability, you can hand them the iPad and they could draw what they're seeing or what they're having issues with. Same thing with someone with dyslexia. You can actually type on there, and it'll create braille labels, but it also creates text labels. So it just opens up this world that you don't have to go find a pen and paper, and it's dynamic. So once you're done, you clear it, poof, on to the next thing. So, and it's free, and it works with VoiceOver and iOS because accessibility is key. So let me show you how it works in action, because I have 12 minutes, and then you guys are going to come up and play. I have prizes. I have like little dinosaurs where you push the nose and it shoots out stuff. So, fun stuff. So give me a minute. I'm going to have to unplug and replug. How many have seen the Monarch or know of the Monarch? A few.
Connected.
Okay. So this is the main menu of the Monarch, and we're going to go into an app called Wing It. And watch it not work for me, because even though I just tested
Tactile
it.
viewer. All applications.
And it has speech, so you don't need
Main
a monitor.
menu, all apps. Braille terminal.
To use it. It's a Braille first device, but it also connects to a monitor. That way, if you're a TVI and you need that sighted support, it is there. And this, we have chess on here. We're going to roll out a bunch of other apps coming up in the next couple months. We're going to have a periodic table, an interactive periodic table. We partnered with PBS Kids, and we're going to have one of their online web apps that now students can play on the Monarch. So there's a tactile, and it'll be good for kids that just needs a moment, because that game runs really fast, and you can set the pace on the Monarch as well, and it just gives you a little bit more control over your environment.
Member.
Okay. So you're going to have to bear with me because I can't hold two things at once. So this is, so let's just say, are you going to help me? There's a cable here. So here, I'll have Mary Susan be my drawer. That's dangerous. So the iPad, that's where the app is. So Mary Susan, can you draw me what a Mickey Mouse would look like? Because I've never seen one. Come on, Mary Susan, you went through Disney education. Come on now. And it dynamically shows up. Now, Mary Susan could add lines. She could add any type of fillers if she want. So let's just say she's now going to give it, she's like, it's a happy Mickey Mouse. So clear it out. So if you have a student that's having trouble understanding, what would be a good thing for a student? I'm going to have audience participation. If you had a student, you can take it to them. You might want to draw something like there's a, come on, sir, don't be shy. So if you had a student in your classroom, what would be something that would be helpful for them that visually for you to represent? Or a child or a parent, it doesn't have to be a student. That's a pretty good car. So concepts like that, we've had kids that now you draw that and they're like, okay, sir, Mr. What's your name? Roy? Oh, Roy. What, they're like, okay, now draw me the engine inside of that. So now, no, don't make them do that. Here, maybe, I didn't grab one. We've got, if you participate, we got little dinosaurs that shoot out balls. We got little fidget pads because we're all teachers. We all love this stuff. And then if you have a Barbie lover, I have keyboard covers for your they're Barbie themed. So what we're going to do is anyone else? Yeah. Yes. I need someone to come up here. We're going to play Pictionary. I have some pre-drawn. Anyone? Okay, come on up. Yeah, you come up here. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you stand with your back over here, and I'm going to have this covered. And then when I tell you, you need to lift up. So we're going to lift up, and you're going to have to feel what's under here and tell me what it is. Okay. Okay, can't look. Hold on. Okay, bear with me. I got to pull up something. Okay, put your hands under here and see if you can figure it out.
Messaging the right
Keep
area.
going. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell folks what you think it might be.
This is hard.
You can use both hands. So when we explore tactile, any type of, even as a sighted or any type of children, we always use both hands because we want to make sure that we're getting the whole picture. Which isn't good for any learner. I know I'm not talking in the microphone, but
I'm going to guess, is it an animal?
it is an animal. Give up. You
I'll
want
just
hints
guess.
from the audience? Hints from the audience. Let's make this Pictionary. It flies.
Oh. Yeah. I guess a bird.
Close.
Is it? Oh, it's a butterfly. Ah, that's tough.
So here you go. Have a pick a prize.
Thank you.
I need another person. Who wants to come up? I'm going to clear it. Oh, you want to try? Okay. Oh. Yeah. And I'll have you go next. I have, okay, we'll have you do the same thing. We'll have you stand here, not look behind there, and then I'll let you know I have 4 to 5 minutes here. This is why I have a timer. Because if not, I'll get lost and we'll play here forever. Okay, let's do this one. We're still developing this, so it takes me a minute to open files.
No worries, take your time.
Okay, put your hands under, both hands under there, and don't look. And what do you think it is? Why is it for? And another thing, if you draw a design and you know you're going to use it for multiple lessons, or you know a student or an adult or whoever you're working with will need that image again, you can save it. So I'm pulling these images right now from Google Drive. So and it's under development, so it takes me a minute, but we have a file open on the app, so that way you can quickly get to it. But I already found a couple bugs because it doesn't work like as seamlessly as it should.
Is it an apple?
It is an apple. Sweet.
Yeah.
You can pick a prize from the bag.
Oh, thank you.
Come on up. We'll do one more and then I'll open for questions. Did it clear? It cleared. Same concept. Let's see. Oh, let's do this one. Come on. All right.
Oh, I heard it like.
Yeah, you
okay.
hear it refresh. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Let us know if you need a hint.
This is a lot harder than I thought.
And this shows a lot of students with vision impairments they've only been exposed to a small amount of tactographics through their student career. I know one of my friends said he's maybe saw 20 growing up. And so this opens up a ton of the world for folks. And learning how to view stuff in the tactographic format, it's a little difficult if you're not
yeah.
used to it. So, so this is actually really enhancing learning from not just a visual impairment component, but for all.
I need a hint.
It's an animal.
Oh god.
Anyone else want to get her another hint? He says hello.
That makes me want to think it's like a parrot or something.
Not quite.
But I don't think that at all with the shape.
Think of a domestic animal.
It's a domestic animal.
Trying to
Is it a cat?
It's a cat.
Okay.
Very
Yeah, I was like, I
good.
could feel the ears, but.
Thank you. Thank you for playing.
Corn popper.
Does anyone have any questions? We've got, I know it's 20-minute quick, and I try to make it interactive because some of you are just popping a squat to rest your legs, which I probably would too. Any questions? I have about a minute 19. Okay. Well, thank you. If anyone else wants to anyone else wants to use Wing It and try it out, I can sit over here and you guys can explore the app more than what we've done. So thank you for your time.